Hey guys, daily recap, March 14th, 2022. Let's take a look at what happened today, what we did, what worked, what didn't work, yada yada. You know the drill. So basically, today we came into the market. We're looking for a little bit of a bounce out the gate. We ended up getting a nice bounce, and then obviously we rolled over in the afternoon. So what we did is right out the gate, we did a bunch of things on the long side. Mainly when we saw that vaccine, sort of the news associated with China basically shutting down Shenzhen. We did go after all the vaccine names, mRNA. We had it long equity, and we took calls. We rolled into the 160s. We ended up going up over 500%. BNTX, we had the 160 calls as well. We took them this morning. They ended up going up a couple 100%. I think it was 380, something like that. So it's really good moves for Mondays on those. And then NVAX, we also were long. The equity, we got 11 points on that to the upside. We took Pfizer long, myself and Beth. Beth actually took it before I did, so big props on her getting in there super early. The 53 calls, which ended up going up a couple 100% as well. So that was some of the vaccine names that we did right out the gate. Other things that we did take, I did take some Tesla long, which worked out nicely this morning. And then we ended up looking at grabbing it long at the end of the day, which didn't end up really doing anything. But yeah, well, we made 3 points on it. But realistically for Tesla, that's nothing, right? So, but it was still, I guess a trade that worked out pretty well. So we talked about mRNA, Tesla. We took some MARPs, which we ended up getting out of this thing for like a little bit of a gain. Nothing, huge on it. We did HUSA long from 583. We ended up getting a point on that to the upside. So that was a nice little trade there. GBR, we tried to take some of this long. We ended up just exiting it flat because it wasn't really moving at the time. Not a bad trade. I mean, we probably could have stayed in it long, but realistically would have made much on it. We took some UPST this morning after that pull back at 91.77, played the bounce for a couple points to the upside there, so that was a pretty decent one. We had some Indo long out the gate as well at 28.50. We played that pop into the 31s, made about 3 points on that to the upside, so that was a nice little trade on the oil side as well. Other than that, we tried some Roku long that didn't end up working. We ended up getting stopped out of that. We had some DDOG short, which worked out nicely. And, got about a point and change of that to the downside. And then KSPC was another small one that we did. KSCP, I believe it is, yes. We had this at 580 long, played it to 675, so almost a point to the upside on that. Nice little pop intraday. We ended up getting out of the rest of that when it pulled back into the 630 level. So basically got stopped out in the money. We tried some BABA short, ended up just taking this off flat because it wasn't really moving. 70 area. We took it at the end of the day, and then it kind of just fizzled and stayed flat for the most part, just like everything else across the board. And other than that, we did a little bit of NLSN when that news came out. Got about 50 cents to the upside. And other than that, that was it on the equity side today. Oh, we did ARQQ. We ended up getting out of that flat at the end of the day because it didn't really do anything. It just popped and kind of came back to where that entry price was. All in all, pretty good day on the equity side. Option side was way better just because we had those vaccine names moving like that mRNA that did go up 500%. We did take some Walmart 145s, which worked out nicely as well today. We tried some CVX at the end of the day. That ended up going up about 15%. We are holding that overnight for continuation. We'll see if we do get it. I had some RCAT on long. Again, this is one that Beth was on. She had the 2 calls right out the gate, which was fantastic. I took the end of the day, I took the 4 calls long because I figured we can get some continuation there. We had SPY puts intraday when the market was selling off. Those ended up working pretty well. We also did some longer dated SPY puts in March, which worked as well. PayPal, we took some calls out the gate. We played that, on that pop, and then basically got stopped out the rest at the entries. That wasn't a bad one. That was a high conviction trade that we did take. We tried some CAT. That didn't end up working. I ended up just fizzling out. We ended up getting stopped out of that starter. And other than that, some Baidu on the put side, Baidu on the long side, actually, the 120 calls. We played that little pop there. Decent trade. But other than that, it was really about the whatchamacallit, the vaccine-related names this morning. Those are the big movers. Other than that, we tried a couple other things. Some stuff that didn't work. We tried some Microsoft calls. We tried some Facebook, which worked out okay. It wasn't a huge move. I thought we could get a little bit more on that. We had some Zoom calls, which worked out okay this morning. BMY, 70 calls, which worked out for about 75%. We tried some BABA puts, 70 puts. We ended up getting out of those, and then kind of head faked to the upside, and ended up coming back down. But all in all, we would have been most likely would have been a loss anyways, just because the premium decay on those puts. But all in all, not a bad day. Really quick morning. Afternoon was a little bit more of a steady fade, and then obviously at the end of the day, we were pretty much stagnant on the market. So great on the equity side. Hit rate was good. Option side, pretty darn good as well. The best thing were those vaccine names, like I said before. Got a huge continuation. Looking at the SPY, guys, overall, what do we got going on here? Well, market did break the inverted head and shoulders to the downside. We'll see how we get positioned before the FOMC on Wednesday. That's obviously going to be the next big thing. We're expecting an interest rate raise, and I don't think you're going to see too many surprises. So I think the move's probably built in at this time, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We do these recaps every single day. We do stream from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. I do the recaps, like I said, daily, and there's also we do stream the pre-market section of our daily stream on Wednesdays from that 8 a.m. to 9:30 before the market opens up. So if you want to come check us out, see what we do, it's a good time to obviously jump in. Anyways, thanks for watching. Any questions, guys, go to SpartanTrading.com. Have a good one.